ngazo trine che tuing ma kashi chi ringde ane jidan mi kenanso delia tu gundene ane nangchu lobjong dog lobjong ngag lobjong ane lobjong chebatam do ma sebe ane susu di kan tudugi susu kan lobjong chebatelia nyamshe che o tinde kasu tudu nangi yoba chikdi ngarangiyan za chögiyo tinde inza nge jesu yiran shugiyo o tinde chigi thola en ta tane ngazu nima kashi chigi ringa dali yan chö chenye dos chi chiyagi ta chashi tinde chi chumbar was.
So how things are going to be is the next few weeks I'll be here teaching, and I can see that you study the sutras, you study the tantras, and not just that you study, but it's clear to me that you also put your studies into practice, into your lives as much as you can. And so this is something I rejoice in very deeply. So as I said, so for the next few days I'm going to be giving some advice and some teachings on how to practice.
당한들 지 ndama chö telia gyucha sumba sa chi nangba chi jingita chi nangbe pechi nyamle jana choya re sangdo jidan gyucha sumba sindu tangbo cha chawa badun dondoma tama ngowa chawas badun dondoma sa de kane de chigo keja ingi mare ta kandar de nyamsulane ani susu gomjaya chi oti badun dondoma sa de ani tendawe gewati ani ngomolam gehetawedela ngoache o duschene nangba tiba cheju yongsu zobegi indan nyamshe chayajili gyucha sumbas.
And so the sumse de chasa wata and dundamba so in terms of the recitations, we're going to be starting the teachings with we're going to be doing a practice which is called the Gyunja Sumba. So it's 3 continuous practices which we usually refer to in English as the prostration to the Buddha. So the 3 things that are contained in this recitation is paying homage or prostration. Then that's at the beginning. Then in the middle, there is what's called dundamba, so like a recitation of the meaning, but it's not just recitation. I don't think it's just recitation. It really involves meditation. You're meditating. And then lastly, the third one is the dedication.
Tatine wachimbi nyamnemba chigdan tiba chimbi chuzu ma chigi ta tiba chimbi chegi nangi ta ningbi cho ene kolo parwa yum sheragi parudo chimba ti joja ta dor dube tsugi sholoka nishu tsange nal dushaba sherab ningbo sayati ta peba tsam mare sobo tsam mare ta pejir tiba chimbi che ngema tarsa kaba yobutu zoliga ben gyana sanru nihon sanru Vietnam sanru Korea sanru ta tuzu changme susu lungbe kege tone sherani mu dende yedeba ta ti ta tiba chimbyugi ta chuzu ma jigi tone ta nyamlengi ta nyimbu tenji ta ti tengi yoyimbare nyamlengi nyimbu ten kar tengi yorasala baina jachewe lamjirin bayan ti bebe tsuki tengi yoyimbare ngosu tembate tongyigi rimba sungu yoyimbare ngode tongyigi rimba ene bedhen ngondo gengi rimba asene ta sabjegi chuzu yongsu zobate sherani mu nanya chandeyaji o tinde hindu ta nganzo tinde jigin doya chikchas.
After that, we will be reciting the Heart Sutra. So all those who practice and teach the Mahayana, so for them this the perfection of wisdom sutras are the real essence of the practice, the essence of the path. And so the Heart Sutra contains the real heart or essence of the Perfection of Wisdom sutras. And this is something that not just Tibetans recite. It's not just the Tibetans, it's not just Mongolians who are in the habit of reciting this sutra. I think probably wherever the Mahayana teachings spread, there is the custom of reciting this sutra. So for example, in Japan, in China, Vietnam, the Koreans, they also recite this sutra. And it really shows the essence of our practice, because it's explicitly, what it explicitly teaches is the stages of the profound path of emptiness, and then the hidden meaning, what it teaches in a hidden way. The hidden meaning of this sutra is the stages of the clear realizations, the grounds and paths and so on. So all of the profound points of the Buddha's teachings and all of the extensive points of the Buddha's teachings are all contained within it. So we'll be reciting that.
Tati jirin nambe chödang en cheradu tiba chimbe chögi nyamne jigi ta nyingbu ne toyagi ta shungni ta tuchen toyagi ches. Ta wana tende shungdi ne pentoru da karagande yenas. Ta negab goba karayona, tartu goba karayona. Sarabji ta ko mi tsamalo den tonde nyabaji inza chibade rangshingi yungruba ta tende indu gyucha sumba shwayati sangi jumden degi shung kane sungo aresna duwe shungne sungo are duwa lungne sungo yore pechen rubuchi shwabayina ji lunebe sajo ji tindele ya ji chupejo tanya ya lunebe sajo la shingdong jeya ge chönbe ine ji sago dolo jeya ge chönbe o tinde ge kap yan ji tinde gi ji mida mimaingi neba minywa ta tinde ge thol ya yuja sombadi dongore sne tishin shiwarangi kanangi yore sikjen dombe kap judun sa ji yore dinala tambonga jindan dunla che sne yimbaye 대쟁알 유차 숨반데 사치 용어요. 엉알 유차 숨바 숨고레스 어딘데 숨야래.
간다지 테스트 투샤다. 그 슝니 여러와. 근데 다둑다 안에 내가 기대 거박하려레스.
내가 거버들 차샤비나스. 유차 숨바 덤베. 지 줄로 롱제베컵. ane ji lunebe sajo tendegi
lunebe
lunesagi ane ji chu noboda in san robo tende sago dolo chea chomba singcheba la soba o tende kablia gyuja somba dene yaboyos o tende sungyare.
And so there are these two very special texts for Buddhism in general, especially in the Mahayana. And if we ask what I mean, it's only natural that the question will arise in our minds, well, what's the benefit of reciting these texts? What are the short-term benefits? What are the long-term benefits that you receive from reciting these texts? So, for example, to answer that, for example, in the Vinaya teachings, the teachings on the discipline, it's said that it's advised when you when you use water or earth where nagas are living, then it's good beforehand to recite this prostration to the Buddha, as we normally call it, the Gyunshak-sumpa, the three continual practices. So that would be like the short-term benefit.
다때네 지 초조기 저거 개침부 지 최기 지 마최 천년제야 어떤데 텐데 그 초조 저거 개침부 텐데 qablyang 규자소마 동그레스 곧 yanti 지 소놈사야다 땜지기 내지 인사래 tindeji. 다 tine 야 shendagi ji molam ngemba japshaba. Ji tindegi ngowa ngemba cheshaba. Tinde dobe tabli and gyuja sumbandunga ina pembu yores cheje. Tishibi. Tinde sungu yoyimbare. Tinde inza ngaransu paratsun rui gyabe katu. And susugi paratsun rui gyabe katu. And yanji tiring tsombe. Ji chochogi chego tinde ya tsoba kabli ya. And gyuja sumbusunga sodrabo. Ya ti mayimba ji kambasawa. Yan zubdunche abjaya tsombe. Tinde kabli ya gyuja sumbusunga shira kechimu insares.
And then on the side of the Dharma, when there are events where the Dharma is being taught and listened to, then it's said that one should recite these three continuous practices, the Kunja Sumba. And I would say that this is because through reciting it, then you create a great deal of merit. And also it's auspicious. I think that's the reason. And then it's also said that when other people have made like malicious or bad prayers and bad dedications, then reciting this, doing this practice, the three continuum practices, it can like avert, or it can like stop the power of those prayers and those dedications. And so when teaching the Dharma, when listening to the teachings, it's good to recite it. And likewise, it's also said that if, for example, you're building a new house, then it's good to, beforehand to recite this practice, to do this practice.
Tako tindeji nuba yong tuya karare chebina konjo sungi Yonten jebe gune cha tsegi yoba inza di topki nuba je yungrubas ane zo tongbo cha tsawa teza mayimba doden nyamso langya partun dondo ba saya tinala laba sungi kor sungudus ane damba shi kor sungudus tinde indu laba sungi nyamlen thang damba shi gi nyamlen gi ne thang chi tuzu tongba ni gi tawe kor ane nyamso lamba tigi ta parche donai ti do chore kenge senai ti se tuyaji tinde yungru was nenga tewa ti sares.
And then you might ask, well, how is it that it has that kind of power? So what I think is that when you consider that at the beginning you're in the prostration section, you're expressing the qualities of the three rare and sublime ones. So there would be some, that would in itself would have some power to it. And then likewise in the middle, where you have the recitation or meditation on the expressing the meaning, then the meaning or the aims that you're aspiring for. So that includes mention of the three higher trainings. It also includes mention of the Four Noble Truths. And so because those include the idea of emptiness, they refer to the meaning of emptiness. For that reason, also the reciting and meditating in this way would have some particular power.
Tatine tiba chimbyugi chegi nyingbu cho shera nyingbu sayati ta ngone thane ji nganzu chame dona che chigi yorilla ta tigi ji ta negabki parche se sayati ya tine yongaya chires ti kora lugyu nala yodeb chires se ongu gyajingis ani shera gi parudu chimbe tuen samo yila samshin si kadun de chabala tenes du dijela soba mindumi chodam ji chir do ba sa ji tinde ji chungba imbre tako 자구 풍부를 이네 자구 풍부를야 상계 좀 된데기 아니 юм시라기 바로도 준비 추주숭배 카도를야 아니 다 군족기 다 루주 잠시르와 다 군족 장된 루주 잠시르와 다 군족 장된 루주 잠시르와 디신시베도 юм시라기 바로도 송대베 카도를야 아니 네바 체베기 듀기 초트인데 아니 다른 뭐네 지 추용돼 버렸지 근데 지 해양 예징 통과하다 아니 해양 예징기 다 디신시베 시라기 바로도 준비 최송해야 될야 parche chinye ta tinde chi yungu yugu duwas ta ti dobe tar nge yum shera gi pardu jimbe tenju gomna ma do yongsa mare samne ene seya ombo gejingi shera gi pardu jimbe tendu gomba imbare tongba ni gi tendu gomba imbare tongba ni gi tendu do gombe nubatigi ene du dijeng chodu ta ring fachi bi imbare kondo langa no searching fachi bi imbare ene jelo kondo langa la yi sarwa o tostin o tinderes 대가 나시 스타 빼트가 나시 아니 나기 자 юм치무 시라기 바로도 좀 대사 일삼이 칸에데 대 일삼에 거네 아니 지민들이 좋담제 너 투그레스 근데 빼트레스 어 투스라고 알아.
And then the Heart Sutra, which contains the supreme essence of the Mahayana, and which, in other words, which contains the explanation of emptiness. The purpose of reciting that in terms of like the temporary benefits we can understand from the scripture. Actually, this must be the one that's on 236 in the retreat book, where it says, in the past the Deva king Indra dispelled the Mars by reflecting on the profound meaning of the wisdom gone beyond and reciting the profound words in daily recitation. What this refers to is it's talking about the powerful god Indra, and what this is. What happened is at the time when the Buddha was teaching the Perfection of Wisdom sutras on Vulture's Peak at Rajgaya. So this is on the kind of like the conventional interpretive level. That kind of level. What happened is that this god was seated there, and he could see from a long way away that there were these demons coming towards him in order to towards where the teaching was being given, in order to create trouble, to create hindrances to the teaching. And so he thought about it, and he came to the conclusion that the only way that he would be able to remove this hindrance, to stop them from doing any harm, was by meditating on the meaning of the Mother Sutra, the Paramita Sutra. And so he meditated on the meaning of that sutra. He meditated on emptiness, and through the force of his meditation, these demons started like receding. They were going further and further away, a bit like they lost their way. They kind of like they got the path wrong. Instead of being able to come towards where the teaching was, they ended up just going off somewhere in the complete opposite direction. Or perhaps it kind of like there was a very fierce wind, like a very fierce storm that carried them away, took them away. And so on that conventional, general level, kind of like interpretive, on the level of the interpretive meaning, reciting this sutra and meditating on the meaning is a very powerful way of overcoming hindrances.
pyoeg dungjire da major dede da chavs kemendo yuksha. Da tine tinde gichi nuba do thuya gichi parche se thuya gi da nuba zo de khares shubayina tongba nigi thuen tingyo arbas. Tongni suwa lana mes jeje de pejir da tingyu tsiji indo khabra. Da suwa tamje gi choji tongni res, tongni gombat res. 네 로바 아야 데베 숭구도와 소나 멤베 미다네 딜라 태좀 사미규 태좀 잠시 쇠베냐 스바슈부 차버규스 다 코에 자와데 카르레 당지레스 당진다 진당무슨 가니데 동니레스 동니 또베 이시드레스 근데 동니 또베 이시기 저자 무스테닝기 마노와 차창와 요소서 때냐데 셰라님부 된데 유미시라기 바르도 좀 데레스 근데 인자 다 parche 투그레 사기 규센타와 델 투도 왔어 가르르스나 뇽무 베드바다 시제 드바 말루와 또니도 이식 종구 연나스 다탑 탑기스메 토네 르바 탑 개버징 스메 토네 좀 투고 연나스 아니 parche 중자지데데 다지메 사서지르다
가서 파발하기 아니 더 쓰는면비
올해 우마시 겹치래
쓰는면비
미다네
미다니
딜라 태좀 사미
and so then the real kind of like power, where the real power of this of reciting and meditating on this this sutra comes from is like this, because well, there is a verse in the 400 verses on emptiness by Arya Deva, where he says that a person who doesn't have merit wouldn't even have doubts about, he wouldn't even wonder about the meaning of emptiness. And so he goes on to talk about the importance of meditating on emptiness. And the thing is that the root cause of all of our suffering, all of the suffering in psychic existence, is the ignorance which grasps at everything as being truly existent or existing from its own side inherently. And so what actually is able to obliterate and completely uproot that ignorance is the wisdom realizing emptiness, the wisdom directly realizing emptiness, I should say. And so the teaching where that emptiness which you need to realize directly is explained perfectly without any mistake is the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. So, for example, the Heart Sutra. The Heart Sutra contains an unmistaken explanation of the meaning of emptiness. And so with that understanding of emptiness, the direct perception of emptiness, when, of course, it has to be combined with or held by the special method side of bodhicitta and so on, then it's able, that wisdom is able to remove both of the obscurations, the afflictive obscurations, which are what keep us in psychic existence, and the knowledge obscurations, which prevent, total knowledge or Buddhahood. So, if meditating on that is able to remove those obscurations, then removing our, something much less than that, like various obstacles that might arise in our lives, then of course it can, meditating on emptiness can stop those and remove those.
오다 틴데지기 규제를 때네. 아니 먼저 신된들라 규자 숨바지다. 시라님부지 네. 주들이야. 아니 뭐만 가시진데. 어딘데 틴데지다. 드린산이네 제제 저거든데 먼저 롭생링들 너무 틴데지인다스.
And so we have those two prayers let's say that we're going to be reciting at the beginning of each teaching, namely the three continual practices, the prostration to the Buddha and so on, and the Heart Sutra. So, and then at the end we'll do a few prayers of dedication. So during this period of teaching, that's what we're going to be doing.
Tatila and Kiranzu Manchewa, that American that Nucho me, two change, Yungu Inza, Injimiji Pöge Jam Dunga, Najan Kemindu, Kiranzu Pöge Jam Sungu Yunare, Inji Keton Sungu Yunare, Kechiminduas.
And now, because most of you here are Americans, so if you want to recite in Tibetan, you can recite in Tibetan, but of course there's no need for you to recite in Tibetan. You can, it's your choice. You can, alternatively, you can recite in English. American, sorry.
In the mother condition, Injigate on Dushage.
Digirela, the Diganato. So we can recite it together in English then, okay? It's up on the board. Okay. Guru, founder, Bhagawan, Arhat, perfect, complete Buddha, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and humans, to you, Buddha Bhagawan, glorious Congress, Shakyamuni, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. We need to do that 3 times? Oh, does it? Okay, sorry. Guru, founder, Bhagawan, Arhat, perfectly completed Buddha, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and humans, to you, Buddha Bhagawan, glorious Congress, Shakyamuni, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Guru, founder, Bhagawan, Arhat, perfectly completed Buddha, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and humans, to you, Buddha Bhagawan, glorious Congress, Shakyamuni, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazed in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Savior, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust-free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to darkness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Do not commit any unwholesome actions. Engage in perfect wholesome actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a defective view, a flame, an illusion, a drop of dew, a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See all causative phenomena as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the four thoughts, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the ways of aging, sickness, and death. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem, Oh, thus did I hear at one time the Bhagavan was dwelling on massive vultures mountain in Rajagri, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration categories of phenomena called profound perception. Also at that time the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent. Then through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any son of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes practice the activity of the profound perfection of should look upon it like this correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates as empty of inherent. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composition of fact, consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness without characteristic, unproduced, unsustainless, not without stain, not deficient, not full. Shariputra, therefore in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition of factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging, and no extinction of aging. And similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on, dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind with patient and without fear, having completely passed beyond error, they teach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifested, completely awakened, unsurpassable, perfect, complete, enlightened, in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as true, since it is not. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared Tayata Gate Gate Para Gate para sangate bodhi sohai Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasa, training the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahas Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like one should practice a profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated, even the Tathagatas. The Bhagavan, having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharyatadiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahas, Arya Avalokiteshvara, and those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asturas, and Gadavas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by Bhagavan. And all surrounding sentient beings go for refuge to the Buddha, go for refuge to the Dharma, go for refuge to the Sangha. We prostrate to the great Mother Prajnaparamita, wisdom gone beyond, surrounded by all the children and by the assemblies of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. By depending on my prostrations to all of you, may these words of truth be actualized. In the past, the Deva King Indra dispelled the Maras, evil beings, by reflecting on the profound meaning of the wisdom gone beyond and reciting the profound words in daily recitation. In that same way, I also reflect on the profound meaning of the great Mother Prajnaparamita and recite the profound words in daily recitation. May all diseases, spirit possessions, bad conditions, all the negative directions, that which has happened due to past karma and immediate conditions, may all this be dispelled. May it become non-existent. May it be pacified. Kala chepe necho tamba ne ngonshe zutu ngawe tuto chen dropa bola mae pushin sik nesun kandru sola chaselo aka samaraja sarara samara.
Aka samaraja shandara samaraya pe.
Teata om gate parasangate bodhi soha. By the teachings of the Arya three sublime ones possessing the power of truth, may hindrances be averted, may they be eliminated, may they be pacified. May all enemies and negative forces opposed to Dharma be completely pacified. Shintim kuru ye soha. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from harmful conditions to Dharma. May all be in accordance with the Dharma. And may there be auspiciousness and perfect happiness here right now.
Oh, thank you.
He who taught dependent origination, no cessation and no origination, no annihilation and no permanence, no coming and no going, neither different nor same. This thorough calming of conceptual elaborations to you who is supreme speaker among all fully enlightened Buddhas, I pay homage. That which through the know of all leads the hearers seeking pacification to peace. That which through the know of the past causes those benefiting migrating beings to achieve the aims of the world, and through the perfect version of which the subduers teach these varieties having all aspects. To the mothers of the Buddhas as well as of the hosts of hearers and Bodhisattvas, I pay homage. No. So we'll do this long mandala offering just today. We won't do it every day, but this first day we'll do this long one. And this first bit you don't it's just me that recites, and then everybody joins in later. You'll see when where it says group joins in. That's good. Chan Chen Bo Tang O Wo Ye Ma Chi Pa Yong zoi denbe nga da dengi le du sene me te je tsun lama lo zan to wan do je chan chen bo kyab je den zin jun ne rin bo je pe zan bu shen an ne te bai chen bu zun je za mo le ba ju e yon do shen gam yu ju on ben za bo me a ho wan jen se ge sa ji om ben za re ke a hom chi cha re ko yu gi ko we u su ri gya po re ra sha lu pa bo lo zam bu ling no ba lan chu chan da mi ni lu dan lu pa ngai ap dang ngai ap yin yo den dan lan jo do da mi nyen dan da mi nyen gi da rimbo je re o ba sam gi jin de je ye ba ma me pa ye lo to ko lo rimbo je no bo rimbo je Sambo Rinpoche, Lambo Rinpoche, Lambo Rinpoche, Tacho Rinpoche, Maben Rinpoche, Dejembe Bumba, Gia Ma, Tenwa Ma, Le Ma, Karama, Meto Ma, Dube Ma, Nasa Ma, Ticha Ma, Ye Ma, Da, Rinpoche, To, Chole Namba, Kya Zeng, Usu Lada Me, Paja Punsun Soba Ma, Sanwa Meba, Zanjin Yido, Wanwa Tita, Tinjin Sawa, Tangyu Ba, Chebe, Paden Lama, Tamba Nam, Keba Zoya, Yonzo, Tembe, Ngada, Dengi, Ledu, Sene, Mute, Jis, I can't see. I can't see. Teba Jemba Sunja Zamo Leva Joe Yundo Shingabu Wagia Doche Droe Tendu Jesus Sheni Gandazo Droa Magyo Namge Tada Nyambe Senjen Tamje Lu Tuze Wachembu Gone Jingi Laudu Dragon, Namo.
南无 Buddha. 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 南无 Sanje chodan
Sogi
soge
Chanam
chanam
La
la
Janju
janjo
Badu
bado
Tani
dane
Gyasuji
gyasoje
Dagi
dagi
Chenin
janso
Gibe
gebe
Zonangi
zonangi
Trola
chola
Benji
benje
Sangi
sanjen
Robara
sho
Sho
sanje
Chedan
chodan
Sogi
soge
Chanam
chanam
La Janju
janjo
Badu
bado
Tani
dane
Gyasuji
gyasoje
Dagi
dagi
Chenin
janso
Gibe
gebe
Zonangi
zonangi
Trala
chola
Penji
benje
Zangi
sanjen
Robara Sho
Sanje
Chedan
chodan
Zogi
soge
Chanam La
chanam
Janju
janjo
Badu
bardo
Dani
dane
Gazuji
gyasoje dagi janso gebe
Zonangi
zonangi
Trala
lobe
Penji Zangi
sanjen
Robara
robara
Sho
sho kange tuzenye sune dawa damje bambe je dambe chune tunzebe kodam tela chatse lo las 다다기 계제티기 최자직네 마 원주 추셔서 지금 만로션 리그멘도 삼게 아니 다기 슈브르 바스 파르도 돈도 마사 하되기 도된 냠슬랑 마트레스 다와나 틴데 도트 카르레스나 디바치 암미자시 개와 푸순 초버제 랑기 셈니 용순두 디네산제 템바이 사 찍도와 에네 까마르브리스 셰소 쇼로가 찍제 니도와 어디니니 도된 냠슬랑 하되 임바라
Dodenra.
도ton다
Doden. So I wanted to carry on with the explanation that I began just before we did the recitations. So I think I got this wrong. So in the middle, it's the recitation of the sutra, Doden, recitation of the meaning of the sutra, meditating on the meaning of the sutra. So the sutras, actually it's sutras. Anyway, there are two verses from the sutras that we recite during those three continual practices. One is when we say the Dibajia Mijashing, don't do any negative actions. There's that one verse we just recited. So those 4 lines. And then the next one that comes after that is Gamma Rabrib. So that's the see all causative phenomena like stars, like visual aberration, and so forth. Those 2 verses are sutras.
다 딩이니 디 슝데 야침부 쇼지 차가 야레스 네 쇼르가 니마도 야마르데 돈다 야침부 쇼 차가 야레스
Now, there's just 2 verses, right? But if the meaning that they express is extremely vast.
다 다길라바숨 냠네 땡게 야레스 제제 셰브레 다 라바숨 칸데스 템바레스나 디바치기 지기 야마레스 사티기 룽아기 녜제 덤베 추릉기 라바데 딱다 고 딱다 도와 아니 개와 풍송 초벌 제생인데 개와 풍송 초벌데 띵이 징길라바드 칸데스 제제 용그레스 지만 제셰 겨윤두 준주기 단다디 삼대기 리우 갑려야 dakshén nyamjé kortiki tsé tu tuan sungudwa o tende yindu tingi zingi laba sangéndi migbal tsé chidu nebe tingi zing chigo kecha mayinba chik tabgi nyamlengi chagi dakshén nyamjé ki tsuanbe tikiti ane tingi zingi laba kong yan ruyo ba chikti junju ki shungu nane ratuya chidwa tende yindu gewa pusun chobar che sayadi tingi zingi laba ane rangi samni yonsu ndul sangétini sheragi laba yinbu sebi shiraris 가르르스나 당징 샤완드치 녀모 두숭 샤완드치나 란섬 마투바차 대인년부 다음에 또 셔럽 어 틴데지기 토네 녀모 두숭 녀부 땡투바치 셈 두바치 총수나 어고 셈 두다 마투바 티무 딘진다 티티다 티츠메 차소 티디 임바레 된 점버 칭엔데 양다베 따와 임바레 틴데 인도 랑섬니 요소 둘사디기 아니 Sharaglava to stand choice to set to us.
Now, I mentioned that when we're the words that we recite there and we meditate on there, they include the meaning of the three higher trainings. So, in other words, they express or they teach the three higher trainings. And how that works, because of course you're going to wonder, well, how does that work then? The verse which says, that's the one, yeah, the one above. The one above, yeah, that one. So where it says, do not commit any unwholesome actions, which is outlined expertly in blue there. When it says don't do any negative actions, what that's talking about the higher training in morality, because it's talking about the practice of avoiding the negative actions of the body and of the speech. And then the next line says, so practice excellent, engage in perfect wholesome actions. So this is talking about the higher training in concentration. And how we can understand that that line is talking about the higher training in concentration is that if we think about, if you look at the concentration chapter of the Bodhisattva Charavatara, what it kind of like particularly talks about, what it really goes out of its way to explain and teach is equalizing and exchanging self and others. So that's in the concentration chapter of the Bodhisattva Charavatara. It's not just talking about how to cultivate a one-pointed concentration. It talks about the object that you're going to focus your concentration on. So in that case, it was the equalizing, exchanging self and others. But we can understand from that includes all of the method aspects of the path. Okay, so in that way, then we can understand that when that line says, would engage in perfect wholesome actions, that we can understand that to be referring to the higher training in concentration. And then it's pretty clear that the third line, when it says Rangisem Yonsutu, subdue your own mind thoroughly, that this is talking about the higher training in wisdom, because when your mind is when you've lost control of your mind and instead it's in the clutches of, and it's in the, like the control of the three poisonous minds, attachment, anger, and ignorance, then your mind is going to be unsubdued. And what's going to subdue your mind is the higher training in wisdom, which refers, especially to the higher training in wisdom, realizing emptiness. So in that way, you can see that this verse with those three lines talk about and teach actually the three higher trainings.
다드네 지 lamrim nyamlen chigla pha jan she yundu tibachi ame chasing saya tigi and ji ninjung korupchi tatene gyawa phusum chopar che saya tigi gyawa phusum cho singedi and shenla neba shidan jebal doba tsam mayimba and shengi ta shendun zo chebe gone and ta ji karsa ranjin da shenjin sa ji ni jinjin ni gi and gyön shebe to ne and she jebro zmi jinjin gi zawe to zawa chebe to ne and ji gabu gewa jugul lamla labe chönbe 어딘데기 개발 라버디 다 개와 풍송 초바산데 자기의 임벌에 근데 인도 어다 장주그 셈다 아니 야세기 줘버디기 개와 풍송 초버제 사티난들이야 누구야 버체 용 장셈 아니 랑게 셈니 용수들 사디 양답에 따왔대 어딘데 인도 이중 장세 양답에 따왔음부터야 지 쇼로가 티나리야 되대지.
And then if we look at that verse in connection with the Lamrim, the stages of the path, so the first line which talks about the don't do any negative actions, so that is talking about the mind of renunciation, ngijung, renunciation. And then when it says only do perfect positive actions, that one with that line, it's not just talking about the idea of avoiding harming others, along with the basis for that bring about harm to others. So we're not just talking about that. On top of that, it's talking about helping others. Yes, helping others. That's the main thing, the main practice that we need to do. We need to think about the faults of the self-cherishing mind and benefits, the help and the goodness of the mind that cherishes others, and then on that basis cultivate bodhicitta and practice the 6 perfections. So all of that is contained in that second line. And then the third one, when it says completely pacify your own mind, so that's talking about what we call the view realizing emptiness.
다 남유 야 계제시에서 신다지기 돈이 쉬베이나 남유 경고름 책이 안 넘버 산게베기 최 생인디 간데지리야 안 도도르지 반데셰 도도치 간데지레스나 따와도 쮸바니레스 넘버 산게베기 최디 따와도 쮸바니기 날 두레스 따와디 덴중 따와레스 쮸바디 차와메버지레스 다 저 차와메 사야디 차와메단데 가르스나 중나 셴라 펜버드스 대달마 중나야 셴라 네벨레 마체 승인디 다 쮸바드레스 넘버 산게베 쮸바 다 중나 셴라 펜버드 대달마 중나야 네 마게 사야디 가발 투브레스 라베나 티 꼰조 까르다 사야지고 그저 말했어 디 따와디 덴중 투브레스 파 성보체나 술을 되게 요야 파 녀버체나 술이야 동네요야 대화도 동네 생인데 유 상행지를 때네 용기유배 땡중 따와 어딘데지 토네 따와 땡중 실내샵에 토네 엔저버 처음에 용대 어딘지 레스 송구도와 어디야 단데 디버지하면 자신사 되기 디버지하면 자신 개와 분선 소버제 생인데 남아산 예배 접었대 개와 분선 소버제스도 샬 펜버두스 대다 마주나야스 디버지하면 자스 샬 네벨레 마체스 어두스제 남아산 예배 접었대 랑 셈네 용스 두 사디 딘데 제거야 가르스나 셈 뒤발레 자와 상부 딜레 디부디기 요야 셈 마두발레 자와 냠바 딜 디부 동해야 저기 윤제 땡중 대양 땡네 스타페 땡중 딘데 지기 안 따발 tuduas and ranksam the yos dulus, dinisanje tambais, and Nambasanje, Tajuni told Dunaya, Tsitinaya, Duariduas.
Another way of looking at it is the way that we often hear His Holiness the Dalai Lama teaching. He often makes the point that if we ask ourselves, well, you know, what really is the Buddha Dharma, you know, Buddhism? What is it? What is it really about? Then he says the answer is it comes down to two things. It's all included in it. All sort of like comes down to two things, namely so the view and behavior or conduct. The view, the philosophical view of reality refers to dependent arising. Then the conduct or practice, how you lead your life, that's can be described in or summarized as not avoiding violence to others, avoiding harm to others. And so then what he explains, you often hear him explain that we in terms of the way we lead our lives, you know, our conduct, how we lead our lives, at least, you know, if possible, help others. But at least, even if you can't help others, at least don't harm them. So this is explained in those first two lines. Because if we ask ourselves, well, you know, why should we avoid, you know, harming others and at best try to help them? It's because of the fact that when you harm others, that leads to suffering. And when you help others, that leads to happiness. So you have those two pairs of cause and effect, those two kinds of dependent arising. Depending upon the cause harming others, you'll get the result suffering. Depending on the cause helping others, you'll experience the result happiness. And so if we connect that all back to those first three lines of that verse, then avoid doing any negative action. That's talking about, you know, at least don't harm others. Then do excellent virtuous actions. If possible, try to help them. And then, so those two lines are talking about the you know, how you lead your life. And then the third line is talking about the view of the world that kind of way of leading your life is based upon, which is the dependent arising. So and the reason that it shows, we can say it shows dependent arising, how it shows dependent arising is when it says subdue your mind, what this is saying is from an unsubdued mind, you're going to experience unhappiness, suffering. From a subdued mind, you're going to experience happiness. So therefore, subdue your mind. So the teaching, subdue your mind, completely subdue your mind, is talking about dependent arising.
Tati lamrim ki thone ma keje jarje shabina jachewe lamji rimba da samen lamji rimba saji ni nalya dudu stajo ni ti ho ani chebe chode jachewe lamji rimba pa du tawe chode samen lamji rimba ma jar o tu cheje lamrim yonzo chi ya shologa dinala duna dutuya chi bares.
And you can also see how this verse can be explained and understood in connection with the entire stages of the path teachings, because the stages of the path teachings are all about the vast side of the method side and so on, and then the profound side of the insight into emptiness. So when we talk about the vast side, that's all to do with the conduct, the way that we lead our lives. And then the profound side, that's included within, connected with, included within the world view of dependent arising.
tene tandegi joja tinal rang semne yongsun dul sayagda sem dul sayadi kandijirisna yang tabe tawa she mishepe ne rowa chamkyu wasaji mishepe mongbati ani kowa chamkyu yaris yang tabe yishe ti ani ji kongdu chube gone ani kowa le rowa chigi yaris tende inza sem tu matu singi tigal tu goris tende inza yang tabe yishe chartab kandijire tongba nigi tawa yang tabe yishe chartab kandijire sayindu ko shibshi chabe tona ba yeshe chayajila doji jobegi tsi kamarabri mameta sayadi ta ting sabu shibuji sungudu was tu sumru jane sungudu was nyamsha ta jetogu negabla jane chik sungudu was ane korangi jojayan dodo chik shayindu midaba ta dunga wa ta tonga dameba chiye sungudu was.
And then also when we look at that third line where it says rangisem yongsudul, completely subdue your mind. So the way in which we subdue our minds is through the understanding of emptiness. And the reason for that is indicated in the sutra, in the sutra, which says that the transmigratory beings, sentient beings, wander in psychic existence because of not understanding the meaning of emptiness, because of not understanding emptiness. And so what that means in turn is that once you understand emptiness, through understanding emptiness, you'll be able to achieve liberation from suffering and from all of cyclic existence. And if we want to go into that point, the meaning of emptiness, how to meditate on it and so on, that's what we find. That's explained in the next verse, which is the usually referred to as the Vajrakata Sutra. So it's a verse from the Vajrakata Sutra, and so that's the verse which talks about it says regard all causative phenomena as like stars and so on. So in that verse, it's really quite amazing because it talks about the three times. In other words, the past, present, and future. It talks about the practice during the practice during meditation, how to meditate, then also how to practice how to practice outside of the meditation, in the meditation, in the period after the meditative equipoise, anyway, meditation. And then also it talks about impermanence, suffering, emptiness, and selflessness.
당에 저지체제 빼자야고지 뜻다야지 십사지대 중마송 마송들라 다스 수수 셈 셔츠지 일단 너와 일단 나랑 너로 어떤지 셔츠지 뭐주지 슈베이나스 karma sayatigi manzo chena ko kamante thungdu mado nime ko kamante thungmi was nyamsha number mi to be ishi ti kablia and chuje kunzo ko nawati tsani ne nang mares ta ngaran chugi ta kunzo thanye zamgi and nawati jeto ko ne kablia and ji nande aje otin na tidan da res ne odi karma sayati nyamsha namra mi dobe ishegi nimewe sershabe kabla and karma cho nangi mevati otidan jane jikse ta wana nyamsha namra mi dobe ishi nimewe danda tigi katsogi chujin kunzo na tigi nangi mevina ta wana chujin kunzo tigi mebrebe selwan tinde mares rabji danda res rabji singendi and nime tu and sak chalang and so mi chema otiki tidu seeing and rebrief singing chunrabuchik yungdu was migyu search or tindiji rebrief yungdu was or tinashi and tanye zamgi pinzu tebe wangi and jiye dabachires bet chang zani ne medeveg tiniji mares ben mingme name tande sheranim signal mingme name jeme selinde be mebresel sungu yomarwas 다시 제베 천나 다른 자는 예바 매나야 타nye 점도 미기여 나여 강가여 자제든 암조 인겨 미기 통과를 여를 사죠 어디 되베 온기 여를 사죠 어디네 인자 러브지던다 버레스 어디 제도를 하지 않으시 제도 타nye 또 군조 타nye 점도 아니 유연나 접근하네 샤르트베지 여를 러브지던다 버레스
Now, so I want to talk a little bit about this verse from the Vajrakata Sutra. So I didn't really get to look look in great detail at a text which explains the meaning of this. So if I make mistakes, then that's my mistake. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to talk about it, explain it the way I understand it to mean, how it seems to mean to me. And so the first one, it says karma, like stars. So stars you only see during the nighttime, don't you? So what that analogy, when we talk about like a star, what this is telling us is that during the meditative equipoise, so during deep meditation where you're directly experiencing emptiness, there are no conventional appearances at all. No conventional object at all will appear to that mind deeply involved in that meditation. There are only conventional appearances when the person emerges from that meditation, emerges from that experience, and is at the time of what we call the subsequent attainment. So it's only then that you get the conventional appearances. So there is like a similarity between that and the way in which stars can only appear during the nighttime, and they can't appear during the daytime. So even though the stars don't appear they don't appear during the daytime. So like that, during the meditation, there are no conventional appearances. Does that mean that conventional phenomena, since they don't appear to that mind, does that mean that they don't exist at all? So the answer to that comes with the next example, the rabrib, which has some kind of like connotation of unclarity, the unclear unclarity. So when things are unclear, then all sorts of things can appear to you. So what this means is that things aren't totally non-existent. They do exist dependently. So due to certain conditions, you have this kind of like unclear appearance to your eyes. So just like that, conventional phenomena do exist. It's not that they're totally non-existent just because they don't appear to that meditation. They do exist, and how they exist is by depending upon other factors. So if you think about what it says in the Heart Sutra, when it says there's no eye, no ear, no nose, and so on. So there also it's saying there's no eye and so on, but it doesn't mean to say that the eye doesn't exist at all. What it means is that when you look for an eye, inherent existing eye in the basis of imputation for the word eye, you won't be able to find it. So it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the sense that it can't be found when you look for it in the the base of imputation. But otherwise it does exist. How does it exist? By depending. No.
Tisa tsiri bagi ngedi shingi yabu shingme ine kundu yang sungdu wa yaw tamche kembe quantum theory che mare quantum physics
Oh, quantum physics. Yeah.
quantum physics theory o di keche shedan na shi ta shi che btsna ani chungse ge nyebe yo mares tinde inza mi me na me sat ko je tinde chil ko ya ta tinde indu tande di rabri sengen di ndeshe shi japtan shenda chila ngarang chola 상당히 컨디션하나야 링에 와지 베티 유딩네 여버터지 누스 난게 알았어 나와나시 제가 지나 녀야 말았어 어딘나시 레브리다 다우레스네 어딘데지 대야 두스전자네 나랑저 로딘지 친질로 티기 제다른 나시 신수 대다르도 마투바게 따디 에네 레브리다 자네 자탄지에 여인 버래 다 티래 다 까마 레브리스 다와나
나와 신기 매버데.
나시 셴바터도 매데버지 마투바지 러브립 나와 나시 제가치나 러브립 니에 매버 나시 로딘징기 나시 신출래야 유딩네 여버다고 유랑원네 여버다고 링에버지 여버다고 나와 나시 제가치는 니에 매데버지 어딘지 대고 거야지 다와는 군접이 최디 여당 간데지래 세데 말메당사데 말메티기 다 요루 여당 때와티 아니 간데스 말메사데 바달램 사지 처미디 눔지 고도 동레지 고도 안 코르메지 바야지 지 메차로지 고도 디숨부든 좀나 아니 처미디 버기도 눔조나 처미디 헤도도 동부디 코란 셀롱버지메나 처미디 헤도도 메자메나 눔도 동부유나 용 강달 규게 된지 초점 차시에 초점기 아니 주바지 마도 차시에 떠봐 매봐 강래야 떠봐 매봐 애니 주바지 자원이네 요마를 사지 어디 말매 사지 된제 다디 콘디기 뒤에 쳐 강다 강이나 양 아니 때네 중화레스 때네 따버레스 펜주 때네 주버레스 다디 도바상기 좀 된데 얘기다 숭 투무 많이 버지 임바렐라 아니 고물루 라 소바 뒤즈장 사무 땡중 대코나니 숭베 고네 아니 디신시벌 믹세기 아니 떠버피야 오토스도와스 다티 등산 잠불링이야 신 야게치 세리 야게치 든데스 드어가블 디 촐이야 타 녀르녀르 두고도 마도 대단가도 타 르르르도 사야지 민도와스 레당에 계속 만두고 있는 마도 배우 타다 좀바다 따온 거도 똥바다 기구 되니 대체 롱드코 조와 펠스
No.
그때 되지 야래
So now I don't know much about science myself, but you do hear, you often hear His Holiness the Dalai Lama mentioning that the view of quantum physics is very close to this view of emptiness, because according to quantum physics, the more you investigate, as you investigate, then you're not able to find the object. Yeah, so if you investigate, then you can't find. So another way of thinking about this, the analogy of the, what we say for the rubber, anyway, I don't know, visual aberration, something like that, cataracts or something like that. It's often translated as. So, according to the, when we look at things, you get the. It seems like there are certain things which are good and there are certain things that are bad, and the goodness, you feel the goodness comes from the side of the object, and the badness you feel it comes from the side of the object, and yet when you look for that, for the goodness in the object, or when you look for the badness in the object, you're not able to find it. So it's just like the cataracts or the distorted vision, where there seems to be something over there, but actually it's just something which is created by your own mind. It seems to be out there, but if you go to look for it, you won't be able to find what's appearing to your eyes. So this example of the rabrib, what have we got in the translation? Huh? We believe that, but actually things don't exist in that way, the way that they appear to us, and they don't appear in the way that we subsequently believe. So then to go further into into attempting to answer the question, so how do conventional phenomena exist? So for that, you have the next one, which is the butter lamp, marme, butter lamp. So a butter lamp, to have a butter lamp, you need to have the butter or the oil, you know, melted butter or whatever. Then you need to have the wick, and you need to have the flame. So if there's no oil, you won't have a butter lamp. If there's no wick, then there's no butter lamp. If there's no no flame, then you don't have the butter lamp. So it's something which exists depending upon the presence of various factors, and that's how conventional phenomena exist. They can only exist when there is the gathering of certain factors, and when those factors are missing, then that conventional phenomenon doesn't exist. And this is applicable to all everything which exists within cyclic existence, within samsara, and also beyond samsara. Everything exists through depending. Everything is labeled through depending. Everything exists through reliance and relative to other factors. And this is really unique in to the Buddha's teachings. And it's for this reason that the great masters such as Nagarjuna praised the Buddha for teaching about dependent arising. Another point that His Holiness makes is that as science develops, it seems like it gets closer and closer to the view taught by the Buddha. It doesn't tend to diverge. It actually the two tend to converge. No.
Tatne kamaru mamenda da Gyurma side kapachil jagi tanda shutu maso. Ta silba side chui sibati nima shaba ta lamsa ko ye dwaji kama khashini ye dwaji redwa zeli yede sibati o tigi mitabati te chuburu sengendi chui boati ane chule chung ngo chu ane chule timdu yoba tangbo chule chung ane korarang shindi chuimba ane tamadi chule ma timdu yoba o dungawa gyule chung dungawe ngo yimba ane tama dungawa yimba tene inza saje tamje dungawa sati chuburu sati te siva sati mitabata dungawa ta milam lo tin sa sumbutigi ene milam senge din deba la jarwe tongbani ene lo senge de tadawa la jarwe tongbani ene tin sa de mongwa la jarwe tongbani kandar gyunre ngo sumbuti ene rangone trube tongbate na bebe namdar gosung ko tenti milam lo tin sa ti tengi che o tigi ta mitaba dungawa tongba sachi tongwa ta dameba sati o tinali tengi tabuchi o tindere te was.
Now, I'm not sure how the next one, which is illusion, it says C calls to phenomena like illusions. I'm not quite sure how that fits. But if we go on to the next one, which is a dewdrop. So a dewdrop, you know, so we're talking about like a drop of dew that you see at the tip of a blade of grass. Once the sun rises, then inside of a few minutes, it evaporates and vanishes. And so you can see how the example of a dewdrop is talking about impermanence. Okay, so here we're looking at impermanence, suffering, empty and selfless, those four. So then the so So then it says like a water bubble. Some people actually say it should be more like a ripple, but anyway, water bubble. The 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 in the case of a water bubble, it arises out of water. It itself, in nature, it is water, and then it like what do you call it, sinks back into the water, goes back into the water. And so this is just like suffering. 동야 대한다 아니 동야
둥아와리 충와
동야
뭐 둥아와라 시마 아니 지구 둥아와
no.
사제 탐제 둥아와 인다
So when we talk about suffering, it itself arises out of suffering. So its cause, in the beginning, what causes it is suffering. It itself is in the nature of suffering, and then it brings suffering as a result. So you get that it has the idea of all contaminated phenomena are in the nature of suffering. And then you've got the last three, milam lodan tindabu, milam dream, lo lightning, and then tin clouds. So these are actually, they kind of like belong together in the sense that they in the sense that they are explained in connection to the three times, namely the past, present, and future. So the dreams when we talk about dreams, that's an analogy for the past emptiness. Then when we say lightning, that's the present emptiness, and then clouds is talking about the future emptiness. So so in this way, they're talking about the causes, the empty nature of the causes of the actual thing itself, and then the results.
딘데 인두 다 디쇼들 덴바식 남샤양 덴투야지 용사르바스
So when you think about that, then it seems pretty clear that you can this verse also contains an explanation of the Four Noble Truths.
딘데 인두 슝디 야첨부 시부지레도와스
So from that point of view, you can see that that text, that single verse, is really quite extensive in terms of what it refers to.
딘디지레스 다 상기 좀된데 추주 망보 키기 진이 까자와 딘디 닐레 잠nen주 대양양의 다치르도 시규르 면제 켈라메스 상기 좀된데 캐랑기 다 숭주 망보 시우지 남레스 아니 디 숭주 남베 가블이야 자외 시자디 가발 샤버레스나 땡지 레와 중어디 시잘 샤버레스 딘디 닐레 잠nen주스 아니 땡지 레와 중어 시잘 샤베 토네 아니 마숭야디 신기 에카데미 신지고 돈다 송바 말레스 가르스나 단다 마란솔이야 셈 마시와다 두nga와다 디 중에 규티 파카네 아니 셈 마시와티 다 시와체야다 두nga웨 중에 규 디디 파 자와네 매버체베 땡도 대와두야지 돈달라 송바치레스 대양양의 다치도 시규르 면제 켈메스
And so there's a teaching, a scripture that
딘디도바레
actually it's the
라만송가베
no, it's Lama Tsongkhapa's dependent arising praise. In there, Lama Tsongkhapa says that he makes the point that the Buddha gave many teachings, and that all of those teachings were based upon, in other words, their foundation, the foundation on which they were based, is dependent arising. And so the thing is that when the Buddha taught dependent arising, which is the foundation of all of his teachings, he didn't just teach it as a sort of academic exercise just in order to to increase one's knowledge. Rather, it was all taught for the purpose of bringing peace to our minds and removing the suffering from our minds. Because at the moment, our minds are not peaceful, and they're in the nature of suffering. So those teachings that Buddha gave, all based upon dependent arising, they were all given in order to remove the causes that bring about the unpeacefulness in our minds and suffering in our minds. And in other words, in that way, they all lead to nirvana, the state beyond sorrow.
야 제르미지 숭지 요래 단데 딘디 되베 찌다가래 교수 도마 지시메 차셰레이 된점라 어지 점제 녜냐바 달라 초기 대화더스 오늘단에 단다 간주 동인 지마 지시 또 두고 있는데 할 레벨에 간주 규리 장주 셈다 닝제 첨부지 람 규리 끼게 있는데 할 레벨에 가대 장주 셈다 닝제 첨부 규리 깨 매나야 동이 무슨 또 매나야 근데 동반이기 꼬되기 따외 꼬들이야 심주제 제바체네 고아롭 차야지다 장주고 셈다 닌제 첨부 꼬다 두주 털이야 수수 이 매배 터네야 델이야 로 초점시 충분이나 니주 망부 시우지 dom투야 지다 아니 셈리야 디기 현나면라지 라투야지 용구도 와신 숨고요래 교수는 두마 지시메스 다 캐랑 순간가다 떠나데 인디스 교수는 두마 지시메스 디나네 차시레레 대야 무스도와 마임바 다가 고아롭 섬지 차제 들려야 초바기 다 이주 섬지 고아롭 차제 딘데지 충분히 있나야 베드 디기 셴나면다 디기 쳔무지 되기도 와스 달라 초기 대화더스 이 어찌 섬지 녜냐바 달라야 초기 대화더스 때텐데스 ngaranzu tande ji dinalia ji tongbani ko kor samta chanju sem kor samta tinde chi chesna tela tane jingone thane ding nga derya sem desoso yonda ji da galhala yonda ji duas kandar ngus koran ya ji penne ji jeyo ji duas o tinde sungores ko kararesna ngaranzu la gangen tenyen di ran chin jin da dang jin ni derbas 다도 좀be 당진다 란진진이 들어봤어 란진진 생이디 또 캔사지요래 낭취 뭐고 권유나 란진지스 남사지 세워하고 그래 지단지나 란진지스 대한 캔사지요래 란진지 생이디 현대 캐두세 현대 야월도에 근데 란이 지부 삼단데라 란진지 세레 대마임 받지 녜롭 좀 신고고요 녜 베디 연대야 내 연대 이 하버 장국이 내 베디 지속 시험도 용수도 내 지기사 딘데들 안 진지 세마래 야들 죽도 년가 때시야래 내 지속 시험도 지기 내 신달래 야 하버 내 지기 딘데 지사 안 진지 딜안 진지 세마래 들 뽑았어 그래
Also in that same teaching by Lama Tsongkhapa, Gyurma Lama Tsongkhapa, the dependent arising praise. There, Lama Tsongkhapa also makes the point that that if one has a direct experience, a full experience of the Buddha's teachings, well, of course, that brings joy and peace to the mind. Like, for example, if you have a direct realization, a direct non-conceptual realization of emptiness, or if you really generate great compassion or bodhicitta in your mind, of course that's going to bring so much peace and joy to your mind. But even never mind an actual, a full experience, direct perception of emptiness. For example, you having a little bit of understanding, a partial understanding of emptiness that you've reached through studying and checking and analysis, or even just some experience of great compassion or bodhicitta, it brings so much joy and peace into the mind. You tend to it brings an end to so many negative destructive actions. One tends to give up and stop such actions, and it brings that kind of joy and peace to the mind. And so I think it's so Lama Tsongkhapa makes that point, and I think it's quite true if you think about it. Just some understanding, never mind a direct experience, some understanding of emptiness, some feeling for compassion and bodhicitta and so on, directly brings that kind of experience of peace and joy in the mind. And the reason for that is, like, when we talk about especially the great compassion and bodhicitta, is because they oppose the self-cherishing mind, which brings so much suffering to us. When we talk about the self-cherishing mind, for people that have had these teachings before, then you understand, of course. But if you haven't understood before, then you might think, maybe when somebody says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to achieve this, make this kind of improvement in the world and so on, you might think that that's some kind of self-cherishing, but that's not self-cherishing. That's just confidence, where you're full of confidence. I'm going to do this. You have that kind of like determination and courage in the mind. I'm going to do this. That's not self-cherishing mind at all. That's just that's something very positive. That's just confidence.
다 딘데 인도 셴데 케도세 셴데 야버도베기 딘데기 라니 찌부 사마 부수 도보단데야기 라니 찌부 케벤 장바 삼단데야기 어 딘데디 란진지스 딘데디 란진지세디 다 냠부터 잠바다 닌제 자버기 장주 생기 냠레 티 코나마도 현다 찌기 걸 동네 제도야지 민도와 현다 파샤네 동니 도베 이시 되게야 란진지라 카두 냠부 지금에도와 가데 동니 도베 이시 란진지라 카두 냠부 지기야나 냐라 다좀부터절레 란진지 강가가서 매번난 거 같이레데 란진지 디네 타르긴 난 타는 거 믿어와 도스 제제레데 다지 잠바다 닌제 자버기 장주세 메타맵지 란진지 냠몰라 다 되네 나도 좀베 당지 생긴디 장소 몽당 가메지 신도 예바 차주 미스네 징하라즈 장바 고메 열에 지 이네 땡중 가사 추르 가사 감기 라비엘라 소버텐데 고메 열에 아니 가사 디레 차베니 뭐 미두보 고메 샤당이 뭐 장바 고메 아니 나제기 님볼 땡지 저바 중에 가사 감기 라비엘라 소버 어텐데 고메 몽부 열에디 짜와짜와기 당신이 동인이 따와디 benyebu cheba mato chigi ko shinda kangi nyebu che thukumdu wa ko ta nyebu che mutu ya yusen ya dende ngaranzu choba chena hakwaya jirwas sem zinda chinju lotela zinda chinju maloba yangda ba chigi nguesu ngawa tak chui cheni nyebu che gogre mato chigi ne 타고를 고신다 지기 님부 용도야 요마르와 친지 로데 받을 친지 말로 지기 님부 제고그와 근데 인도 다 가사 동반이기 따와 돈이도베 이시 생인디 친지 말로 보지 마도나 ene dadu zimbe dangzi singide do tudaya medingi ngaran chugulya tandalya kange chedayagi kange tebabote ranjinzi da dangzi tingi dobe tabla ene chambada ninje zawrgibe chanjugu sing nyamle cheyaji da dongbani nyamle chegoya de da metameba chadayagi nedande da tindijire deduwa.
So this, when we talk about the self-cherishing mind, what it refers to is the sort of like the state of affairs where you're kind of like dismissive of the needs of others and where you neglect others. And really the only way of overcoming that is through love and compassion and bodhicitta. It's not actually meditation on emptiness, for example, which gets rid of that self-cherishing, selfish self-cherishing attitude. And we can understand that because actually the hero and solitary realizer arhats, even though they're completely beyond psychic existence and they have this very deep understanding of emptiness, they still have the self-cherishing mind. So it's only the the great compassion and love and bodhicitta that can get rid of that self-cherishing mind. And then, on the other hand, it's said that loving kindness and compassion and so on, because they're not the direct antidote to the ignorance, the true grasping mind or self-grasping mind, which is the root cause of psychic existence, the root cause of all of our suffering, because then they're not the direct opposite of that mind. They can't really eliminate that. They can't really completely get rid of that ignorance. It's only the wisdom realizing emptiness which can do that. So what this means is there are many meditations that we can do which act as temporary antidotes to various destructive emotions, like, for example, meditating on the elements in order to overcome pride, meditating on repulsiveness in order to overcome grasping attachment, meditating on love in order to overcome hatred. But they're only temporary measures. They don't address the problem on a deep level, right at the root. It's only the realization of emptiness that does that. And it's actually the reason for that is pretty straightforward if you think about it, because the root cause of psychic existence is a mind which engages in its object or apprehends its object in a way which is completely wrong. So in order to oppose that, the antidote that you need, which is going to get rid of that, is a mind which engages in the same object in the complete opposite way to that. So in other words, the only thing that's really going to work for that reason is the wisdom realizing emptiness. And for that reason, we have the self-cherishing mind and we have the self-grasping mind, and these are the cause of all of our suffering, and we need to get rid of those. And the way that we get rid of those is through meditating on bodhicitta and the wisdom realizing emptiness.
Tinde inza nagarjuna pengo pabalo dugi umarin jetime nala igi gongo iga tinde sungudu was dani tani jidender lame chanju tobdena ti zawa chanju su rewan jabo tadenda chonde tube nijin nila mete ishilas tati tonda kar sungo arsna lana mebe chanju tobra dugi yonas sanje ji komba toba dugi ji ima inas ta nyamne zo kar chawre seindu chanju sem tembu shibuji gores ru tembu richembu jigi nashin jigi and ru tembu nashin jigi gores tembu jigi gores and ko juya ge zawati cho da risu ma chebe semje samal le kyabde ge ningji jigi gores teya japte ta nyila masumbe and tongni gi tabe cho chebe jigi gores nila mete ishilas chonde tube ningji da nila mete ishilas and gomulu ru tisumbu damna duwas.
And so you can understand what Nagarjuna is saying in his at the beginning of his text, The Precious Garland of the Middle Way. He says that if a person wants to achieve peerless enlightenment, peerless Buddhahood, then there are three main practices that you need. One is bodhicitta, and specifically bodhicitta, which is really firm as a great mountain, and then firm and steady like that. And then secondly, you need compassion for all sentient beings, and then third, non non-dual wisdom, which refers to the wisdom realizing emptiness.
다 딘데지기 다 넘버 3개백이 냠랭이 좀시 딘데지기 니주디 심베 토라 애니 신에 단당하란즈 트링글롭사이 연된 군지 시규 진전제 수시 담발람지 자와루 레버토는 베바토마이 kuba chenpe tenpa chingi lo sene sushi tenpa lamgi tsawaru sayagi ta lamde kandichi re silapsu na ta tande nganzu xie shabdagi di tsangma lo ta laba sungi ndota ani denpa shigi ndota o tene denpa nyigi namsha ani ji gyachewe lamgi rinpa ta samme lamgi rinpa ndota tiki di tsangma ji ani nangwa sangyebe chusu chi yinpa chi ne chi yinpa chi xebe to ne ta ti lamdeji meba yongya meba inza ane yinde kunji shigyu chinjenje esne shingi demzo de sungu hares.
Now, against that background, the understanding of those points that I've just been explaining, then we can look at the first verse of the text that I'm going through during these next during these 3 evenings, the Foundation of All Good Qualities, which I think you'll have a copy of. So it says there, the foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect guru. I've got a feeling that when it says perfect pure guru, that's the Jitsun, but it doesn't say Jitsun, it says Jie. So kind and perfect guru. Correct devotion to him or her is the root of the path. Okay, so the path, the correct devotion to that guru is the root of, is what I've just been talking about with you. The 3 higher trainings, the 4 noble truths, the 2 truths, conventional ultimate truth. I was talking about the vast practices and the profound side of the Buddha's teachings. So in other words, all of the Buddha's teachings is what it refers to. And you're not going to be able to understand and get an experience of those teachings of the Buddha without somebody who's showing you the way. So that's what this verse is talking about.
Sendi chawa teni che choba ya lomke meba meonas jeje lamri chemena tende sungyore migi teni shi tuya ki jala ji ya lamke yang tabo chimena shigmi duwas tende indu tabata tamje kembe lam ani yongsu zoba ji ta jangwa ji da tondu nyenge ji yimba ina di tsushin tenye gi ani gege yang tabo ji ta gwaya di ta kechimu chaba resne nenga zawa resne yonde kunji shigurus otusene sunyade tende imara.
So yes, there where it says the foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect guru. Now in the Lamrim Chenmo, the great exposition of the stages of the path by Gyurma Lama Tsongkhapa, he says that even with things that with skills, you can actually physically or visibly observe. If you don't have a good teacher, you can't really understand how to do them. So in that case, of course, if you're interested in achieving complete awakening, Buddhahood, then of course you need somebody to show you how to do that.
That sushi ten yonde kunji shigur tinchen jazz ko tinchen jazz tsikchi tadu was o tigi ji ta labasumgi nyamlen zor chebachigi ene yondengi cho yodengi jila ta jazz tanya takwa chi chagi yigire sangdo
labasumgi yonten
ore
chasa yobet
신예 두어시와 예시와 사가 어떤지 라바숭이 냠는 조 제비지 딘데지기 아니 시 연된다 된다 버지라 애니 제사지 다니 도구 얘기를 했습니다.
Now if you look at that
들링해지려면 다 대야 저무치 숭디 시락 람리 처면인데 시락 개치 모두 왔어. 가르사 또베 연데도 민다베기 지다 차시레리 땅에 찍지만 치신데 녹으면도 어떤 데지기 차시레리 담 예바지기 무초베스 야외 땜바 찌다 tumbe 아니 규투루 시고 그랬어 아니 야외 땜바 찌 tumbe 규투루 치다리 인샤나스 아니 도디겐레 신의 두발라 시와 녀시와 시소기스 라바숭이 규투루 아 드니지 고레스 어떤 데지 숭도 왔어 신의 개주단 칭이지야 문진난 숭도 왔어.
Now, at the end of that first line in Tibetan, you see it says Yonten Kungi Shigu Tinchen Je, which has been translated as perfect here. Perfect, pure, but anyway, should be perfect. What I think this means is that word Je, or perfect, it's referring to the guru having the qualities, having mainly the qualities of the three higher trainings, like when we say, like subdued, pacified, very pacified. So referring, those three refer to the qualities of the three higher trainings. So actually, it's very nicely done in in Lama Tsongkhapa's great exposition of the stage of the path. He says that so the kind of guru you need isn't. It's not enough just to have some kind of quality which they regard as certain qualities which they sort of like claim to show they have realizations. Like, for example, a person might have a certain amount of clairvoyance. That's not enough. Or they might claim that they're really special because they're able to do very good divinations. That's not what you want. What you need, the kind of guru you need, is somebody whose mind has become like transformed through practicing the Buddha's teachings in general. And then Lama Tsongkhapa goes on to explain the kind of qualities that the guru needs in detail by quoting from the Sutta Alamkara, one verse where it states 10 qualities that such a guru ideally would have. No.
Oh. Tanda di dharma kirti pande churagi tinde sung yore tizo shiragi landa doje tingi ni tabdan jeba rigdeba kande tsama nyindegi tamje ringze mainos ringbu thongwa ya miyaro debe tingi thongwa yis kade ringdung tsayi na susho chago tembar kis ta nye tanda da chi deba chisa ije chisa chi tomba chisa kanди chigliya ngunzi chigi yoyosina langdor ki ne chinji malo tenpa chigliya ngunzi chigi yoyos langdor ki ne tabda chiyaba dita rulu rodan yonsu zoba chasangwa chig sungu yugirwa o tinde chigdi manowa chig tengi duna tatil nge kibu tsama chigi yoyos langdor doje tingi ne tabda chiyaba ringzeba kangde tsama nyidoygi yis Tere mato chigis, ngunshi zuru sayano, tinde yotsam chigi mares. Kari resana, ngarang ndeba de digi res. Dunghe sayata, dewa dhubya teres. Dunghe sayata, dewa dhubya tab chinji malo bati, langdo ki nete, tingi na ngar tiga digi dos. Ringbo thongwa miya rons, ndebe tingi thongba his. Kade ringdo tsayina, tsusho chago temachis. 다 링보 통고도 자침부를 개침부를 쓰려고 이어놨어. 아니 걔나 자고를 아니 대번 제고선 잡래도 요레스 그 킬로미터 망보 통고하러 다스. so 어떤데 쓴 거래.
So Dharmakirti, the great master Dharmakirti, he says, who I feel faith towards and who I regard as my guide and teacher is the person who understands and explains the essential points of what should be practiced, or what should be adopted, taken up, and what should be rejected. So such a person I regard as a perfect person, and that's the person that I feel faith in. Not somebody who simply has some kind of clairvoyant powers, or who has some kind of magical abilities. And the reason for that is, he says, what I want is to experience, to achieve happiness. What I don't want is suffering. So all I need is somebody who can show unmistakably what it is that I need to avoid in order to avoid suffering, what actions I need to avoid doing, give up doing in order to avoid suffering, what it is that I have to do in order to find happiness. And he says, if what you think is important is being able to like see long distances, which is like one kind of clairvoyant power, then who you should have faith in is a vulture, because vultures can see a long, long way.
Yeah. Oh, today in that Yonten kunji shigyu tinjen jesa siktila nuwach mushuduas. Lam gi tsawarus lam karres lasuna and tagi ngel keje shesha tigi chi todo ji machuna lam singedi in yan zuzu me chagduas. And sushi ten sa de yang korangi ta desenchires. Sambe tensu jove tensu o tigi ta shine sungwares.
And so in this verse where it says, is the root of the path. So what is that path? If you don't have some kind of understanding of the things that we were talking about earlier on this evening, then when you say the root of the path, it's not really going to mean so much to you. So you need to have that kind of sort of general understanding. And then this word that comes at the end of that first line, Jinsen Je, the kind, perfect, perfect one. So that word, the perfect one, that really is quite powerful, and really, is quite, has a lot of meaning to it. And then it also says, correctly devoting myself to such a teacher, correct devotion. So this also sort of opens up a whole a lot of practice and explanation, because here we would need to talk about the way of correctly devoting oneself to a qualified guru in terms of one's actions and in terms of one's thoughts or attitudes.
Oda tiring lobsan di dindeji gangla sha ta kamanchi yishtu kanzo tribatanji tuzu pugos jiktinas.
Okay, so I'll leave my explanation for today there, and there's a few minutes left, so in the few minutes that remain, I would welcome any questions you might have. Yeah. Okay. That Rinpoche rang chezin dang dangzini la keba kari yores, keba yorebes, and keba yona detis suranas.
Didi keba chenpo yores. Keja dodo frobrop chishena nyeran rajumbagi dangzin pangbares. Ranchinzi panyamares. Dindi tati kebar mena ranchizi ti pangshagruwas. Keja dodo ti teres. Ta shigarane ranchinzi da dangzin singi di kandijigre ranzu du soba chebina. Yuting ne sambo yobatabu, yuting ne nyamba yobatabu, yuting ne yobatabu zimbe zinsu tela dangzin singi. Soso yang pungbo chi soso ta pungbo ngabo ti tingdu yuting ne yobatabu zinya. Shendala ya chi ina ti yuting ne yobatabu zinya de dangzin ko tindechi tuwas. Tela ranchinzi singi 다긴에 셰바나 신기 셴데 야와도 셴데 케도 세네 라니 지부 토니 로직 강 로고도 코닝인데 그 제셰 geb두네 카데스도 왔어 다 라제버 점바텔 당진기 슈겐 여르베스나 땡땡 여르 다도 점베 당진들 란진지기 슈겐 여르베스나 지기지로 로바 땡데 지기 여르
Because the doy or is the
지기지로 로바 지기 여르
no.
뉴슈 지기 여르 pena nga ki bu gu nga sang bu gu sing de nga linge wa chi ta sam tan je en tele ya de ji chi sing de tere o ta nga pe la da mi ko ma tho gu sing en tin zi ran chin zin de in kar sa ji da en kar sa ji dung yi sa jor tar be dung yi na chi sa jor o ti ran chin zin shi la sha ne ngon to du ya da tin de yung go 지다오 산지기 둥이 있어. 근데슬라비아 계좌야.
Sangi drumsina.
둥. 그다음에 root search. 둥스나 자와 search.
So actually there is a very big difference between these two. To put it very simply, the hearer and solitary realizer arhats have abandoned the self-grasping mind, but they haven't abandoned the self-cherishing mind. If these two were the same, then you would have to say they've abandoned both. They're completely free of both. So that's one kind of indication that these two things are very different. Then in terms of the way that they're explained, well, the self-grasping mind is a mind which, for example, thinks that the goodness of an object exists from its own side, independent of one's own mind. It exists from the side of the object. The badness of an object that appears to you think that it exists from its own side. It appears to exist from its own, to come from the side of the object, and you believe that it exists from the side of the object. So believing that it exists, that goodness and badness exist from the side of the object, that's the self-grasping mind. Believing that there is a self existing, your own self, I, existing from the side of your aggregates. That would be the self-grasping mind. And likewise, thinking that others, exist from the side of their aggregates. That's also, it's all included in the idea of the self-grasping mind. Self-cherishing mind, as if you think back to the way that I explained it, I described it as a mind which is dismissive of others, the needs of others, neglects others. That's the self-cherishing mind. The two do sort of work together, though. For example, we think, I want to achieve happiness. I want to become a human or a god in my next life. So it's like you've got the grasping at a truly existing or inherently existing I, and at the same time, it's like it's a mind which cares just about yourself and not about others. So the two do kind of have that kind of they do kind of work together, help each other.
답변은 네 샤르스네 샤조티 유티니 여부터 지야지 용도 와서 링가 진 지야지도 와서 들 란진지사 타니자 아이스 so the 당진 게 저와스
Like for example, we would sort of point over there and I mean I don't know what the directions are, but anyway you would point over there and say, oh, that's east, right? And you think that you have this, it appears to you, and you have this feeling that
문에는 샤르디 뜨니 샤브르와스 샤르 카르스 소소 기라샤네 ene 소소 샤르 군조든 디 샤르스네 소소를 뜨니 비 샤르 샤그르마도 지금 마데바 샤르 샤 큐니미도 와스 다 요 마르테 이나 소소 롤이야 비 마데바기 샤르치 샤게 알아 디 당진게 제텐데레 담바투 지미즈마레 디레디
actually, being is relative. Like for example, in the sort of Tibetan way of viewing things, in front of you is always called east, behind you is called west. Over there is called south, over there is called north. So it's relative to the person. It's not. It's not. Over there isn't east from its own side. But also the way that we describe something as being in the east or in the west. It's relative. But the way it seems is it's from its own side. It's east from its own side, north from its own side, and so that would be like self-grasping. But I don't think you'd call it self-cherishing, would you?
야대샤.
So we'll stop there.